Welcome back. It's time for Media Watch France, our look at the top stories in the French press and online media. And Shana Bhattacharya joins me now on set with the lowdown. Good evening.
Good evening, Lana.
We start with the French daily Libération. It's caused quite a splash today with François Hollande, the socialist candidate, on its front page.
That's right. François Hollande is reaching out to the French public. The French presidential candidate's letter to the French is published in Libération, as you said, the French left-wing daily. His piece is called Now is a Time for Change, and it takes up Tuesday's front page and also subsequent pages of the newspaper. Now, Hollande writes that France has lost hope, that French people are suffering, and the text on the front page ends with France has been brought down, weakened, damaged, and degraded, in quotes. Now, the one thing Hollande doesn't say, however, is what he plans on doing about it. So on her Twitter page, Budget Minister Valérie Pécresse writes she's looking for a new idea, a concrete proposal. Damn, he's failed again.
Ouch.
Then there's Nadine Morano, who is the minister in charge of apprenticeship and professional training. She picks up a slogan used by Hollande's adversaries on the left, calling him a pedal boat captain in a storm. So those are pretty harsh critics. Right. Now, Libération as a whole is getting a lot of heat for this, but the paper's editor-in-chief says it was just publishing a scoop and that other candidates will be getting the same treatment. Still, it's hard to believe it was just a scoop when you look at the front page layout as we see here. Now, in the U.S., newspapers go a step further, as you know, and they endorse candidates. The Quad City Times, the local Iowa newspaper, endorsed Mitt Romney for the Republican presidential candidacy. Now, note that the paper endorsed Romney just 2 days ago, so that's right at the end of the Iowa caucus.
Right, and we're not yet at the end of the presidential campaign here, I suppose.
Exactly. And now, as you know, the New York Times did the same thing back in 2008 with Barack Obama, just weeks ahead of the election. But in France, newspapers don't endorse candidates, as I said, but they do actively support them. So if he runs for a second term, Nicolas Sarkozy is virtually guaranteed to get the support of right-wing daily Le Figaro. But as a French journalist points out on his blog on the L'Express website, French television, on the other hand, has a different set of rules, and TV stations are legally obligated to give all presidential candidates the same amount of coverage.
So there's a bit of a debate over that in the press today, and that's very different in papers. Next up is a story I really like. It's left a lot of people disappointed. They were hoping that a fortune had been found on the French subway.
Right. It's actually the French subway, or the suburb train, the RER B. Gold bars were abandoned on Friday, and the story's gotten a lot of attention, as you say.
For good reason.
For good reason. Security officers found this bag full of gold bars, 20 kilos of them actually, on this suburb train. And well, now it turns out that when the security officers exploded the bag to make sure that there were no explosives inside, it wasn't like a terrorist attack or anything, well, they found 20 kilos of this gold, but unfortunately it was fake gold. And the train conductor and the RATP, Paris' transport authority, are pretty disappointed because that was 800,000 euros that they were going to split between them. But investigators are still trying to figure out where they came from and what they were really meant for.
Well, that's a bitter beginning to 2012 for them. Let's hope the year has good things in store.
Better things in store, exactly.
Another big disappointment here in France, and that's generated a lot of commentary. David Beckham isn't moving to Paris after all.
Right, exactly. You were just talking about it a minute ago. Now, a lot of people are blaming, as you said, family reasons. A lot of people are blaming his wife, Victoria. Especially the Le Monde article here says that the Beckham issue was much ado about nothing. On Twitter, people are reacting a lot. Cherchez la femme, exactly. It's all about her, Victoria.
Victoria's getting all the flack.
She's getting a lot of flack, and especially this young woman on her Twitter webpage wrote that Victoria Beckham must have realized the sales were better on Rodeo Drive in Los Angeles than on Avenue Montaigne in Paris, the street just off Champs-Élysées with all the luxury stores.
I think that's a little mean, but oh well, who knows what the real reason is.
Yeah.
On to our next story about the Légion d'honneur, a prestigious award here in France. We talked about it yesterday. It seems there have been new developments, more controversy.
Right, exactly. The Légion d'honneur is France's highest award, as I was saying yesterday, and the French president, this Nicolas Sarkozy, a few days ago, distributes it every year on January 1st. Well, now one former UMP senator, a man from Sarkozy's own party, has refused the honor. The 78-year-old Henri Torre says the Légion d'honneur has been ridiculed. He says that because some of this, among this year's other 828 recipients, there includes a one-hit wonder from the 1970s, and that's especially difficult for a former senator to accept that he's on the same ranking as a one-hit wonder from the 1970s. So he's saying, you know, if the honor is being given to just about anyone, then he's not going to take it.
Oh, and that's a pretty strong statement. He just plain turned it down.
Just plain turned it down.
All right. Thanks for being with us. That was Media Watch France with Shona Bhattacharya. And don't go away. Up next is Web News. We take a look at what's been creating buzz on the internet today.